be honest, gray walls are starting to feel a little lifeless. But James, you talk about grays all the time. Shut up, you. I'm talking about those really cold cement grays that everyone used 5-10 years ago. If you are tired of your home looking cold and washed out with all these cold grays that were over, I'm here to tell you that it's time for a change. Today, I've got 6 beautiful Benjamin Moore colors that will breathe new life into your space and finally make your walls feel fresh and inviting again. Welcome back to Top 6 Saturday. Ooh, see what I did there? Where we talk about the best and sometimes worst paint colors and design trends every single week. Today, we're going to tackle a common problem that a lot of people have been talking to me about: what to do when you're over your gray walls. Cool gray interiors in general had its time, and if you need some personalized color advice, check out this ad. Are you looking for a full-service online color consultation? Check out the link below because we are offering a personalized color consultation service with Maria, our full-time consultant. You can have a back and forth communication to make sure you're picking the right colors for your space. Details are all below. Okay, so let's jump into these colors. The first one I want to talk about is Pale Oak, which is a beautiful, soft, warm grayish. If you still want something neutral but warmer leaning compared to a traditional cold gray, Pale Oak is a fantastic choice. It's a soft grayish that combines gray and beige with a hint of a slightly rosy warmth to it, where you have that brown mixed in that warms it up without going so yellow, more so towards the red, earthy side. And this makes the color feel pretty cozy and inviting to me, rather than a gray which is cold and sterile. This color works beautifully in a number of spaces, from living rooms to bedrooms. Because of its light, airy quality and its incredible versatility, I think it pairs very well with things like wood tones, white trim, even subtle pops of color. If you're afraid of going too bold but want a softer alternative to gray, Pale Oak could be perfect. The only thing that I will say is sometimes people tend to be a little iffy when it comes to red undertone neutrals because they can feel a bit rosy or pinky or peachy. And that might not be the specific look you're going for, but more often than not, if you surround it with warmth as well, it's going to look awesome. Is this where I need to remind you to test out your paint colors? Because, yeah, you should do that. Okay, number 2, Manchester Tan, a timeless, warm tan beige. If you want to bring some more warmth and more depth into your space, Manchester Tan is a classic color with just the right amount of softness. It does feel fairly saturated, especially compared to the off-whites and the grays that we've all collectively said we're over, but I do think it's balanced quite nicely, and it's a fantastic way to incorporate warmth without feeling overly yellow or traditional or outdated. I really love this color in areas that have a lot of natural light, making any room feel even more cozy and welcoming and just comfortable. It's also great if you have earthy decor. It does have a decent amount of saturation to it, so it's not necessarily a clean slate color, blank canvas type of option, but it is a great choice for those of you looking for more color, more richness, without feeling too overbearing or over the top. Now, what about those of you who are looking for something maybe a bit lighter and airier? Well, why don't you take a look at Swiss Coffee, one of my personal favorites. For those of you that want to lighten up a space, make it feel that much brighter without going to a stark white or even a cool off-white that might be a light gray, Swiss Coffee is an amazing choice. It's warm, it's creamy, it brings a sense of freshness as well as that comfort that warm colors tend to bring. And unlike a pure white or a Chantilly lace, which will feel quite stark to a lot of people, Swiss Coffee has a subtle warmth to it that works well in traditional, modern, and your farmhouse style homes. If you want that clean, bright look without the sterility of pure bright white, this is a fantastic option. And I often recommend it as a color wash option, meaning not only putting it on your walls, but potentially your trim, your ceilings, everything. Just envelop the space. Assuming you've tested it out and you like how it looks in your house, because there are cases where that yellow undertone can get a little bit greeny, but if it works, it's going to work better than pretty much anything. Next up, we have Clay Beige, which is kind of an underrated color that isn't super popular, but I love it because it's earthy, it feels natural. Clay Beige is an incredibly soft, warm neutral that adds depth and character to a space, and it's just a warmer alternative to gray, while still having that grayed out feel to it. The warmth in this one is subtle. It's a hint of warmth that makes it feel perhaps a bit more sophisticated and contemporary, but it's still passive enough to work with almost any decor style, and that's great. This is a perfect alternative to gray if you're looking for something calming, timeless that you maybe won't have to repaint in a year or two, especially if you love things like, again, those warm woods that a lot of people are incorporating now, interiors that maybe have a lot of neutrals, but use a lot of soft, layered blankets and throws and all that lovely cozy texture that I just try and have as much of in my own home. One of my personal favorites is muslin. What makes this color great is it tends to have a subtle warmth without feeling too yellow or overpowering. It's sort of a soft, earthy beige with just enough warmth to brighten a space without being too intense. It has a great amount of self-control. It is warm, it's present, but it's not going to be the star of the show. It just fits in very, very well. This one does feel a little more like a clean slate type of color without going white or even off-white. It feels passive in a really good way. It's not going to irk people. This is a color that I recommended all the time 15 years ago. So it is one of those examples of what's old is new again. And who knows, maybe the cool grays will be cool again in 10 years. But for now, let's embrace this warmth. And that's what muslin is giving you. It works beautifully anywhere. Living rooms, kitchens, hallways, bedrooms if you want something that's a little more minimalist. It's a perfect balance between warm and neutral, making it super versatile with every single design style that you can think of, really. But I didn't want to end off with a color that was cool 15 years ago and maybe is cool now. To close things out, I want to introduce you to one of my favorite warm neutrals that is pretty underrated, and I think it's the perfect antidote to those gray walls you're ready to move on from. It's a soft, warm neutral with a hint of blush, of all things, giving it this gentle sophistication that gray often lacks. Unlike cooler tones that can feel stark or lifeless, it brings this subtle coziness to a space without being overly beige or yellow. And a lot of people are concerned about those yellow undertones in their warm neutrals. This color has a delicate warmth that makes it a versatile backdrop. It pairs beautifully with any soft whites you throw at it, earthy accents, wood tones, other neutrals, making your home feel inviting and refreshed without a drastic color shift. If you want to move away from gray, but still keep things light, airy, and timeless, you need to check out AF50 Etiquette. I love it. Super underrated. And that's it.